we're recording here. Brian, what you got? Data at 10. All right, cool. Thank you. There you go. Something heavy coming at 10 a.m. So I didn't want to stay away from it. So what have I got? This ES chart. So it was talking about the trend, basically going upwards. That makes sense. Personally, I avoid trends. I even like to avoid horizontal lines if I can. This area here is what I was talking about yesterday with you guys. Basically putting the high there and the low there. And it's just a no-go zone, especially after the 2nd of December. It's been a mess. So yesterday was just this mess, false breakout at one point. So far, overnight today, broke out again and came back again, another false breakout. This is just a disaster. But I'm seeing something else as well. So one obvious thing would be, all right, just move it up there. And so, it's choppy down there, let it break out again and see if you get something. But there's another thing I'm able to see here, just using it as a horizontal line. You see what the resistance was right here this day, and then in the same place right here. So that becomes an area to look at. But sure enough, when it got there, it's been choppy since it got there. And right now it's right back there, right back. What is this, 68, 65-ish? It looks like right now it's bouncing off it, but would you trust this bounce? Right here, knowing what you know, that this was firm resistance. When it got there, since it's got there, it's been what, a day and a half? It's been incredibly choppy, getting choppier, as in higher highs and lower lows. Would you trust this as a retest of this breakout if you're seeing this? I certainly won't. I don't trust this area at all. Again, just look to the left of the recent price action or price action right now. And it's a disaster. You just don't want to play with this. Yeah, sure, it can run and go, and then everyone gets FOMO, but there's no setup to get involved, to put risk on and be confident about putting risk on. There's no way. So it's all in a great big no-go zone for me. I'd move it up probably here, let's say. That's yesterday's high, false break over there. Yeah, let it get back up to the overnight high in this area, and then we'll talk again. For now, I'm just not interested. This whole area is no-go. No clean action. It's, yeah, grinding higher, but there's no way to get involved. Anyways, that's what I'm seeing. Unless, of course, you are using the trend lines, then yep, that makes sense. You got the higher lows here. That could work if you're into that sort of thing. It's not something I like to do. So that's basically it. That's all I'm looking at. I don't anticipate taking a trade today. I haven't yet. I don't see it. It's going to take a few hours to get up here and set up here the way I like, and then it's Friday. So forget it. Yeah, Tarek, what you got?
I took a reversal actually on this one because in my playbook, when you go to RSI under 20, which is heavily oversold on the MNQ, and after that, and there was a level here, the point of control at 257. And it started to reverse. I took a long on it, but unfortunately I bailed too early as usual. It's not new. But lately it's been doing this move, and if it's as Sajid was saying, since it's in a range, so most likely it will bounce back to the top of the range.
Yeah, it's likely to bounce back. But if you keep getting out too early, man, you got to go see my new physiotherapist. She will kick your butt. We'll talk to you when you need.
I have to see someone because let me, if you don't mind, Avi, I will share this one.
Yeah, please do.
I'll show people the pain I'm going through. So I don't know if everyone's seeing my chart.
Yep, I can see it.
Here's my entry on this candle because we reached to the POC the previous day, like the point of control of the previous day. And normally it rejects and go ahead from it. And I just took one partial here towards the top. It started to moving. I thought it will go down again. I exited it, and it's how many points? 40 points above me.
Trade management issue, sounds like. And for that, well, there's a couple of things that I think have to happen in order for it to work better. One is having a predefined target before you even enter the trade. And then when you put the trade on, don't touch it. Take away the most volatile part of the whole procedure, which is the trader. The trader is the most volatile thing compared to anything else. More volatile than the futures contracts, the options contract, whatever you're looking at. It's always the trader that's more volatile. So remove the trader. So leave it to run. Put your limit orders, stop orders, whatever it may be. Put it in a way where you can leave it alone, and that way you'll find that you get these big runners more often than you suspect. It's quite amazing. So think about those few things. That's been my experience of always getting out too early and then struggling with it, and really you're here to make money, the big money, and really you're not going to make money unless your winners are huge, because you are going to take a lot of stops, right? You're going to take 3 stops out of 5. That's pretty normal. So you have 2 winners, better be serious winners, otherwise you're not going to make it in this business. So try that if you like. I think that works for me at least.
Thank you, Avi. I need to chill and take it easy, man. That's very well said.
Yeah, take it easy. But still, you should see the new physiotherapist. I mean, she's Egyptian too. She's right up your alley, man.
Man, trust me, you don't want to mess with Egyptian.
You Egyptians drive me nuts.
Seriously, that's really bad, Highly recommend.
Highly volatile people, you guys, you Egyptians.
Exactly. With a lot of issues, complexities. So,
yep, I'm very, very familiar. Oh my gosh. We got a few naughty Egyptians in this group already. Anyways, so yeah, guys, if y'all want to look at any other ticker or any price action, let me know. If you got any questions, let me know. I anticipate a lot of boredom into the open, just because there's nothing on my screen to look at. And of course, there is always something that's got news on it. Looks like, what was it, Oklo, or a few other things you guys were talking about. Take a look at that if you like scalping and such things. That's all I've got for now. In the meanwhile, also, once again, guys, if you've got questions that you have that come up before when we're not having our live session, so anytime, just pop it into our forum here in our Discord. And I'm looking at that right now, and I'll look at that all the time when we're in our live sessions here, so I can answer those questions. We can go through those things. And also, if you want to look at your trades, put your screenshots in there, and we can bring it up in this session and go through them together. Those are always quite useful. Good use of time rather than just sitting here watching choppy price action, right? We all get to benefit from something. Yeah, I got the news here as well. Let's just look at that. So 10 a.m. news. Brian, what is the news at 10? Do you know? You were saying something coming up.
Got a personal, let's see, we got PCE data, consumption expenditures, and consumer sentiment.
Okay.
Those tend to be, the sentiment's kind of a bigger deal. It kind of gives like a feel for, where confidence is at. And then PCE shows, month over month, year over year price index for what people are actually doing.
Okay. Sounds like it'll be impactful, or market will pay attention to it. The algos will pay attention to it. Cool. Let's see. Yeah, it says here, markets wait for US PC inflation news. That was just a few minutes ago. What else we got? US stocks may continue to experience choppy trading early on. Here we go. All right, you got your updates. It happened at about 9:15, 10 minutes ago. Expect a choppy market. Look at that. The news is telling you that. Pretty funny how that works. Wall Street set to open moderately higher. Yeah, it's a bunch of shit. And the rest of it is all European news for you Europeans. European session just is underway. Cool. Good to know. Sounds like definitely the first 30 minutes to stay out of the market. And then see. We got here in the chat. Yeah. Notice RTY has been cleaner. What is RTY? VPA and VPA is some volume stuff. Very good, Mario. That's a good point. You should be comfortable with taking losses. Absolutely. As in, it's a part of this game. Seriously, it is. I can't tell you enough how that is one of the most difficult things about trading. Again, we talked about it yesterday. It's where you go and collect a salary when you have a job. You're not putting any of your finances at risk. Now, when you're trading, your finances are at risk, but your mindset is not geared for that typically if you're coming out of the rat race. So you got to retrain your brain. Very, very important. Otherwise, none of that other stuff's going to matter. All the technical stuff, nothing's going to matter if you can't, think the right way and manage your emotions the right way. You need a different kind of EQ, emotional intelligence. Do the news here. Oh, the Russell 2Ks. That's what Brian is looking at. Okay. Yeah, there's all kinds of things to look at. Personally, I'm actually exploring some of these futures contracts. So I think this one is, this is oil, this is gold, and natural gas we looked at yesterday. Look at that, it's pumping already. Zoom into this one. If my trading is to expand into different instruments or tickers or whatever you want to call it, it's going to be just futures contracts at this point. There's so many different kinds. This has gone nowhere, but just broke out earlier, a few hours ago. Anyone got the news here on natural gas? Something's moving it. Gold, slightly bullish, nothing serious. Oil, can't tell you anything about oil. This is the ES. There we go. It trades nicely. RTY. What is it? RTY, is that the Russell? Is that what you guys saying? Russell futures. RTY Israel. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. So there you go. Might be a few good things to look at. We have the ES, you have the NQ, you have Russell. What Dow Jones? I'm sure there's futures on that.
YM. Yeah, YM. I don't really like that one. I think RTY and ES and NQ are the best ones.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And gold.
Is it because they move cleaner, or they respect the
they respect levels and they move clean.
Cool. All right, there you go, guys. There's your watch list for the rest of your life. Don't need anything else. You get plenty of leverage. All of you junkies out there, get plenty of leverage with futures, much more than options. I'm telling you. What you got here, Ivo? You enjoyed completely removing the 1 minute chart from the platform, using the 5 minute and 15 as your main points of view, and the hourly for targets. Much calmer now. Good for you, Ivo. Excellent. Congratulations. That's a big jump. That's a big step. It sounds like a simple thing to do, but realistically, it's not, because most people who've come into trading come in with all the excitement, all the marketing that tells them, hey, jump in low float garbage, 1 minute charts, whatever, all this kind of exciting stuff, right? And then you get suckered in. But really, to be here and sustainable, you gotta want to be calmer. You can't just be always stimulated and triggered and in a frenzy. You'll burn out. I can tell you, I burnt out. You guys saw me burn out this year. So good for you, man. Go slower. Remove the noise. Yes, and the fake outs. And there you go. And you target big moves. You really do. You have the patience to wait for it. When you get it, you just leave it on, and you can trail it to the point where your stop's at break even, and then let it run for the big one. And realistically, it's easier, much easier. Your heart rate is more stable, and so is your P&L. All of that comes together. Good stuff. You're welcome. Yeah, my talks previously got you thinking like this. Sure, man. You're welcome. Happy to have a rant anytime you ask me to. But yeah, man. Again, everything I share is based on my experience. None of it is true. Put it that way. It's all a lump of crap. It's all just based on my experience. And if you find it valuable, great. You're welcome to hang out here. No problem at all. Everyone has different experiences, but also not just my experience, but also my observation. Because I've been fortunate enough to be in a mentorship kind of position for a long time now. So the majority of the time I've been trading. So I've been able to not just observe my own experience, but observe what everyone else is going through. And it kind of boils down to this stuff, overstimulation, over triggering dopamine, all this stuff we regularly talk about. One of the key solutions I've discovered is to zoom out bigger candlesticks, bigger time frames, those sorts of things. That's why I like to talk about it. Good for you, man. There you go, guys. Follow Ivo's lead. He's going to be here. He's been here for a while. He'll be here for a while still. So there you go. All right, looks like the market's opened, and what's cool is looking at my chart, you hardly notice it. Hardly. All right, so I've got the chop zone. Realistically, it doesn't have to be down there. We got this high from overnight. Let's put I don't want to be involved in anything until it breaks that high. I'm not bothered with the downside. And if we do get an entry here, it gets to 6,900. I'll probably take a little partial and then further up at real targets. And for now, let it sit. And also going to wait for 10 a.m. There you go. I was trading live for 3 years now. Rocks 1 year 7. Nice. That's great. Ivo, you've made it. Most people in 3 years, in 1 year of live trading, they would either blow up or quit, one or the other. I'm talking about 85% of the people. And out of the 15% left, I'd say half of them are still there 5 years later, from my observation. So you're on your track. You're on the right track. Yeah, go ahead. Got a question? Or, all right, sure enough, you can see it's finding resistance. Let's go into the 1 minute. Have a little fun with this while we're here. Where is it? Right about there. You can see that pre-market resistance right there. Sure enough, sellers were there before. They're going to still be here, most likely. If you guys missed the whole webinar I did on using human nature for trading, chromatic levels, all that stuff, including fractal patterns, it's all happening right here. Sellers were there before, chromatic level, very recently, still going to be here, most likely. So I did that talk at one of the conferences. I think that was 2023. Talked about that traumatic level stuff in the conference. It's happening right here. Really straightforward stuff, really. We'll have AMDL. Okay, there you go, guys. We're getting some volatility there. AMD and its leverage. Plenty of leverage everywhere. All right. When people talk about being consistently profitable, being a professional trader, all these sorts of terms, none of them actually make any sense to me. I think the only term that truly makes sense to me is you gotta be a how do you word it properly? You gotta be a professional at boredom. Then you're really a trader. Then you're gonna make it. I mean, how good are you with boredom? How good are you with silence? How good are you with these sorts of things? Then you'll be all right. And again, modern pop culture with all the social media and our attention spans and all that has totally taken us to the opposite end of that. We can't go 5 seconds without some sort of excitement. Just use that word. It's amazing, isn't it? So once again, you have to go the opposite direction of society, of culture, of everyone around you. Yeah. None of that stuff's easy. You go against all of your conditioning. But if you're motivated enough and then disciplined enough, sure. I think it's fantastic. A whole new world opens up. It's shocking. Yeah. We're all lucky to have this opportunity. It's really amazing. Yeah, it's hard, Oliver. You got it. Satch, you got NQ done for the day. Nice. Got long NQ and got the scalp. All right. Well done. Scalping risk management. Nice. Here I will, like what I said, 90% of the market is noise. So I need to be better to learn to sit on my hands. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. 90% of, well, put it this way, 90% of the market is noise. That's true. I found that to be true. But trading, 90% of your trading is watching without touching. Now look, don't touch. I'm sure you've heard that before. Yeah, that's 90% of it. Very hard to do, right? Your trade book better tell you that. Those are the trade books that tend to have very good RVR, even with a 20-30% win rate. There you go, Satch, getting into it, huh? Yeah, let's see this 1 minute chart. Let's see what happened here. So rejected so far, not going anywhere but down. It's there. I'll show you guys something that I explored but never executed on because a little too terrifying for me. But if you just look at this price action right here, from down here, this is yesterday, uptrend, right? No levels anywhere, just uptrend. And then it puts in this long wick. It's essentially an indecision candle, which is slightly more bearish than indecisive. So, but the top of it was the most interesting part. The key concept, room to the left. There's room to the left here, right? Up here. So what you have is it went up quite firmly, and then it got indecisive with an indication for a short. So what do you want when you have indecision? Well, you want a decision to be made, especially when you have indecision with room to the left. So then here, the decision is made when it makes a new 1 minute low on this. Well, sorry, this is a 30-minute low. Makes a new low, that would be the entry, and the stop is above the indecision. And you want to be in it, let it chop around, do whatever it wants, and you're in this thing going down. And this trade would still be on if your stop is above there. I put this on a few hours ago. It's a trade style that I explored. So again, no levels. The key concept is room to the left. Whenever it gets to a place where there's room to the left, you see what it does. This one put an indecision and then it made a decision. Other times you'll see absolute chop and then a long tail hammer, which is a continuation setup to go long. Ways to do it. This indecision trading, this indecision doji candle trading, I don't do it. I want more confirmation. It's a little too tricky. And even when it does work, I've discovered mostly it doesn't give you the massive runner for the day. You know, it's not as reliable as I like. But I mean, for most people to catch a 30-minute trade like this on a chart like this, you look at a 30-minute picture and you get a 1 minute entry, and you get a move like this, that's pretty large already. You catch about 20 points or so. You target, I don't know, somewhere here. You can see where all the support areas are. Here's an obvious one. That one hit. Probably take off half the position down there and then further lower, put partials in. So that's one way to go. I don't have confidence in it. I've not used it. Again, key concept, room to the left. For me, room to the left is the key concept of basically any kind of trading I do now. If there's no room to the left, I don't touch it. And even right now, my trade book is there's no levels. I'm just looking for room to the left. There's no room to the left, so I'm not even bothered. When there is room to the left, then I'll look for it. One of the setups I don't look for is this one. This little short from up here. It's not my setup. It's not something I like. But this one was perfect. Again, double bottom here, reversal setup. We had earlier, we had this massive hammer, catch 100 points on this one. Not too big, and not too big of a problem. Fairly straightforward setups. Indecisions, a little more difficult. Would have added here too, that indecision, catch the new low and drop. We would have got it right here. Probably catch the majority of this move. This would have been perfect. but not my trade book. I wouldn't touch it. I didn't touch it. What else we got here? We'll close short. All right. So this and that. Moria, price action is king. Nothing matters. Nothing else matters. Well, I can tell you one thing that matters more than price action. Anyone want to guess?
Your
If you're not too busy. Emotions. Thank you. There you go. See, Omar's been around long enough. He knows everything there is to know about trading. There you go. Emotions, emotional intelligence, patience, all the stuff we're just discussing. You know, price action is king, but that's only on the technical side of trading, which is only 5% of trading. 95% of trading is the trader. Now you got a whole new world to work on, right? And that is very complicated. The human being, oh man. There's a reason I chose not to be a psychotherapist, right? Yeah. Very complicated to deal with human beings. Oh, I don't know how people do it, man. I honestly don't have the patience for that sort of thing. To work in a corporate job and then take care of people's egos and no. I'd rather be productive. So what do we got here? Tesla strong as well. Broke pre-market high. There you go, guys. So just in looking at that.
It rejected at pre-market high.
Was there? Oh, okay. Yeah, fair enough. So that's the thing. It gets to a place where you're interested, then make sure it behaves a certain way, right? There's three possibilities. We discussed it yesterday. Anyone remember what they are? Three possible price behaviors when the price gets to a level you're interested in. Anyone? Don't make me repeat myself. Come on. You guys know this. Yeah, sir. What do you got?
Yeah, I'm either hits the stop or it hits the target or the time ends. They ends.
Well, that's if you're in a live position, correct. What about you're not in a position, the price gets to a level of interest, a level you're interested in. What are the three possible things the price can do?
Breakout, reject, or chop.
There you go. Thank you.
Oh,
That's
I got
about
the
it.
question completely wrong
Very
then.
No, so you're gonna have the same coffee
I
Omar's
haven't
having, right?
memorized all the answers. That's why.
Oh man. Yeah, there's always three things at a level, and there's always three possibilities. Doesn't even have to be at a level. It could be anywhere. The price either goes up, down, or sideways. That's it, man. That's all there is. Everyone's all fussed about 100 different things, man. Shit. That's all there is. So for me, when the price is in a place where there's room to the left on a 30-minute chart, then I'll look at it and see if it's 90% of the time it's going sideways. So the others are either setting up to go up or setting up to go down. And I have specific setups I'm looking for. If they come around, then I'll enter. It could still go up or down from there without giving me the setup I'm looking for, in which case, leave it alone. Nothing to do with it. So you did that down here. It went up from here. I didn't touch it. It went down from here. No setup that I like to see. So just because it moves doesn't mean you have to be in it. You gotta know what to look for. Knowing what to look for is so important because there's that old saying, and I've told you guys many times: if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for everything. That essentially is you're gonna fall for your emotions and then end up revenge trading, overtrading, all that. So make it a really nice, clean and clear and simple definition of what you are looking for. And if it shows up, then put the risk on. And everything that happens after that is just dumb luck. Either it stops you out or hits your target. That's all there is. There's nothing more to it. Otherwise, you're going to be susceptible to anything. Just a whim, just the caffeine hit you too hard today, or you didn't sleep well last night, or whatever. Or you fell in love with your physiotherapist at the hospital an hour ago. That can hit you too. Yeah, yeah, it's a Friday love story today.
Avi, seems like you like her a lot. You are talking too much about her.
I'm just setting up Tarek
You
now.
know,
She's more
yeah,
Tarek.
you know how I feel about this one. This one I'm not on board, bro. I'm sorry.
This is hilarious. Every time I try to ask a woman out on a date, I need to get everyone's opinion in here first. Oh my god. Yeah, Tarek, this one's for you, man. She's yours. She's not my type.
Thank you, man. I'll pass on the Egyptians. Thank you. Had enough, you know.
Oh man. I actually got scared today. Not scared, but surprised. And I don't know why. My mind was just, I guess I was overconfident or whatever. I was like, whatever, it's just another doctor. But I was surprised. And that's what hit me so hard. And I freaked out a little bit. I'm like, wow, that hurts. That was the key point. It's funny. It is funny. So there you go. Anything can make you make poor trading decisions, right? So you have a fucking simply, or a set of rules that are very simply defined, easy to understand, easy for you to execute. Otherwise, you're gonna fall for everything. Completely not related to trading as well. You fall for anything. This I can tell you from experience, and I think most people here have experienced that as well. You just don't know it sometimes, a lot of times, unless you choose to become aware of yourself. You don't know it. Anyways, who's blowing up an account right here? This chop zone. Let's have a look. Sitting there, yeah, up there, and then
Check the gold. I called it out. The gold GC.
GC.
A minute trade. I took it long. It's printing well. It's behaving well.
Oh yes, it is. Gold, gold, gold. I've buried a few gold bars under my house. Should I dig it up and sell it now? I think today's the day. Yeah, moving up nicely. Overall in a choppy zone, but currently moving up. What was your plan on gold, or how do you figure? Looking at a news event or something?
No, I'm looking at the bigger time frames. So the bigger time frames, it's been consolidating for the last couple of days, sideways, within some levels. Sujit high level, which is around 255. It broke out. It came back. I watched it on the 5 minutes, and it started looking at like it held the resistance around 260.
Mm-hmm.
And we're good. I'm at my first target.
Nice. Yeah, going up with it. I have different numbers on my chart, but I can see what you're talking about as far as price action. Pretty cool. There you go. This is interesting on a daily, but let's look at the weekly as well, because I have a suspicion here.
Yeah.
This setup is again from Will O'Neill's book. The was it How to Make Money in Stocks? You have a good run up and then an absolute high and then the pullback. And then it's about the quality of the pullback. And what happened here? Weekly chart. Oh, man, it changed. All right, let's go to the daily and look at it. There we go. Yeah, so it's the quality of the pullback. And here on this pullback, you have a low and then a higher low. Almost looks like a good double bottom, but you don't just go long as you would on a double bottom. With this setup, wait for the high, and what you expect at the high is consolidation. And you have that opportunity to enter with your stop basically halfway down the pullback area, and then you're going away. So that's a much bigger term perspective kind of setup. I mean, if you see it in a 1 minute, sure, take the same thing. I see it for 5 day breaks all the time. But yeah, it's setting up again higher lows on a smaller time frame. Definitely, you can take it. It's all there. It's an interesting setup. I might get into this. By the time it gets up there, I'll have figured out how futures on gold works. Maybe I'll trade it. Interesting. Good stuff.
And it's been trading very well because previously gold was a dot that didn't move that much.
Mm-hmm.
But now it moves actually like for my risk management. It's moving too fast that I need to go really like 2 contracts or something like that on the micros.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, go small to begin with.
But before I used to take 5 and leave it for 30 minutes, and it's already up $20 only. It was like.
Sorry, Avi, to interrupt. If you look at ES, it might be at your level.
Is it? Is there room to the left at this level? Can you tell me?
I'm just saying that it's going to break out of the zone. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah. Cool. Let's see if it breaks. And then it has to close a candle above, nice and firm, solid. And then it has to bounce off. So probably a few hours to go. But thanks. Yeah. It's pretty much there. And this is not a level. Basically, I just put it here at this high. It's once it's on this side of it, above it, there's room to the left. Below it, there's no room to the left. That's the way I'm seeing it. So this whole thing is a zone, really. The whole thing. Put a level right in the middle if you like. But the whole thing is a zone. For me, it's a no-go zone for now. But yeah, thanks. Let's see what happens. And we're waiting for the news. 10 more minutes, it looks like. And yeah, we'll see what happens.
There is a huge liquidity at 6900, which is a round number. Could be it's been there since last week.
What I don't like is it's just slowly grinding up to that in the last few days,
Yeah.
And for me, I just call that chop. I don't call that a trend. I'd like to see a tight consolidation, a firmly defined resistance point, and then a breakout and retest. Then I'll take the big run up for this 6900. At least the way I like to see it. Nothing wrong with taking this grind up with those trend lines if you like such things. But I don't know, I've never had success with that. Anyways, yeah.
Do you think it's because of that range that it's been so very slow this week? It's been very, very choppy and very slow for me this week.
Well, I've heard all kinds of theories. I heard it's December, so it's slow. I heard the moon is not in the right place, therefore it's slow. I've heard the magnetic poles and the polar bears are not hibernating properly, and that's why it's slow. I mean, shit, I don't know why it's slow.
Lots of
we can speculate on any damn thing and use our imaginations as much as we like. In the end, the candlestick don't want to go, so it don't want to go. That's it. So just price action. Just watch the charts, I haven't got a clue why, and I don't intend to find out why. I'm not going to put any energy into figuring out why, because it'll just make me confused and then create another false belief system in me. I don't want to do all that. I don't even expose myself to those things. Just watch the candlesticks, and most of the time it'll be okay.
Okay.
Yep. What are we looking at here? Oh, you're saying we might have a new girl moderator soon? Oh, the physiotherapist. Yeah, really. You want to be a moderator? Sure, come on the mic. I mean, there's no such thing as moderator in here. Okay, let's begin with that. I don't know what you guys get this whole idea of moderator. You know what the moderator is supposed to do is moderate the environment, make sure no one's abusive or anything, right? Shit, you guys are all grown ups. So I'm gonna babysit you, okay? I'm not a moderator. I'm just a trader. If anyone misbehaves, all right, somebody better complain to me, and then I'll have to do some moderator work. I've never done moderator work. Unless you're a bunch of kids, and I'm not a babysitter, on an hourly wage. I refuse that job. But sure, anyone can come and use the mic here, so don't be shy. And no, just because that physiotherapist kicked my butt today, and I'm a little intimidated, doesn't mean I'm gonna invite her here to be a moderator. And cup and handle, yeah. Close to cup and handle, that gold one, yeah. The double bottom in the cup. What do we got here? Gate 10. Yeah, it's a slow week, yeah. No worries. Same thing. Cool. So now we're having the breakout. There you go. Asgard was alerting us to this. I think my level let's get a little more precise. Bring it into right there. All right, there we go. Now my preference is to take trades on a 30-minute chart. Funny thing, if I was to really try and catch the breakout, I would be basically entering here, and the stop would essentially be probably the low of this entry candle. So that's the stop right there, and then targets are, let's see, and the ideal target would be way above, way up there, which that's realistic. It can happen. It's not that far off realistically. And de-risk up in here. Once it gets here, bring stop to break even. Becomes a little tight. You de-risk up here because it could easily go down. So I prefer the 30-minute chart, but at this point, firstly, I don't like to catch breakouts. I prefer to wait for retest. And secondly, we got that news coming out now. Anyways, the RVR is just terrible. I mean, I can't even put on a decent stop on this. So no trade for now. Let it close so it confirms a breakout. Close bullish candle above, and then we'll find a bounce if it happens. 1 minute chart's useful, but I'm more and more. I'm just moving towards this 30-minute chart, even for executions, slowly by slowly. Let's see. And again, I like the slow nature of it. Keeps my head clear rather than this nonsense. I can never tell if the candles are too big or too small, or it's moving or it's not. It's just you just get too zoomed in. You lose perspective. That's what I don't like about it. This works. This is simple. Even here, you don't want to zoom in too far, huh? Just leave it like that. All right, a few minutes to the news. You guys know the drill. What I recommend: don't be in any of this indexes during news. I never had a problem with those tickers, the Max 7 and all. When the news was out, I just ignored it and I kept my positions. But make sure you know that news is coming, so you know what to do based on your trade book. What's the news? I was asking, Brian had it. It was something about sentiment, something that'll impact the market. Oh, here, I got the news thing here. This is market rate for US PCE inflation. There you go. And right below that, it said it should be choppy until that comes out. Isn't that great? We can have an algo to trade just based on what NinjaTrader is spitting out to us. And that's how these algos work a lot. A lot of them do. No. Let's see. We got news. We got Friday. We got a decent looking breakout. Be nice to make some money for a change. I feel like I haven't taken a trade in a while, but looking back on the quarter, I've already made more money than I can spend. So it's been extremely slow. It's been a quarter of more experimentation for me than anything else. So I'm not fussed about taking a trade or not taking a trade. I'm really just trying to improve my trading and make sure I'm doing the process correctly. You know what? With the news coming out, it'll be more entertaining to watch the 1 minute chart. There you go. Let's get that dopamine fix for the day, shall we? Let's zoom right in, just the way you love it. Watch these 1 minute charts. I bet a lot of your screens look like this. The candle's probably going to start jumping at 10. Can you imagine trading on this? Again, I used to. I'm sure a lot of you guys still do. This is how I used to trade. 1 minute chart, totally zoomed in, looking for these tight entries, massive size, and scalping. That's not as profitable as what I'm doing now. We got Dan, 10 a.m. personal income trading. Oh, thanks. You got all the news schedule here. Thanks, Dan. There you go, guys. 10 a.m. Lots of news, looks like. All kinds of news. Brilliant. Yeah, let the news drop and then we'll see. Any minute now. 30 seconds. All right, there you go. Let's see what happens. Let's see if these algos respond. You can see it's a little bit jumpier. You guys who have the volume indicator will be able to see stuff. See the volume increase. See, it's not a massive reaction yet. And I figured by now it would have happened if there was going to be a massive reaction by the algos. Not a whole lot, not even on a 1 minute chart, doesn't look that big. It's a little bit more volatile, but it's not a massive reaction. And there you go. Congratulations, we're through it. Everyone survive? Everyone okay? Anyone lose their accounts? All right, Tarek wanted to see that. See you, Tarek. See you next week. Have a good weekend. Yeah. So there you go. All that excitement about the news, and it's a dud. But you don't know until it happens. Until it's released. All right, let's see. 30-minute candle. Yeah, that closed. That's a decent breakout. I'd call that a breakout completed. And now wait for the retest. That's going to take a while before all that happens. Oops. Here, and the retest, and we got targets overhead. No entry for now. I'll just wait and see. Good if we have a good little bit of momentum going up. Ideally hit this number, 6900, and then bounce off again. That would be fun. That would be a very good setup. I could take that in a few hours. Taken those plenty of times. Let's see if it happens. All right, we're through all the news and everything. Anyone got any questions? Anything you want to discuss as we used to do with our candlelight session? We can do it now. Since we haven't got much else to do. The market's run. Okay, not much to talk about really. And if you want me to look at your screenshots, we can do it now for a little bit. I'll be here for a bit. And good fun. No setup, Saibo. Very good. Yeah, Dan, go ahead.
Hey, good morning. If there are no questions or comments, but the members, if you just grab any chart and comment on what you see, personally, I find that very beneficial.
Okay, sure. Any chart. Well, let's see. I've got charts lined up here. Let's look at one of these. Okay, so this is gold. We looked at. Let's look at this one. This is oil. We haven't looked at this. All right. So first, we're starting here with a daily chart. Generally speaking, you're trading. There's two things, at least the way I like to do it. Two things you want to do. Start with a big picture. That's the first thing. So a bigger time. Don't go straight to the 1 minute chart. 30-minute is where I tend to go. Right here we got the daily. You can start with the daily or the weekly, and then zoom into the 30, and then the 5, whatever. But start big. That's a bit of a concept. The other thing I'm really interested in now is when you're looking at these bigger picture charts, at least with naked trading, is look to the left. Look at where the price is right now and look to the left. You want to make sure there is room to the left. Otherwise, do not entertain the idea of taking a trade. Simple as that. So let's zoom into this one a little bit. This is the oil daily chart. Price is right here, right now. We'll get a level on it. Where is it? Horizontal. All right. You can see where the price is right now. You can see this is previous day's high, which is also the high of a few days prior, right? So what's interesting is that's a firm resistance area. Now, there's no room basically inside, just below previous day's high. It's it's a bit choppy in there. But you could think about, just looking at this, you could think about this is firm resistance. If the buyers overwhelm the sellers here, which are very firm, then there may be a potential for a clean move up going into the next highs that you see about a week ago, 2 weeks before. So that's just a bigger picture idea that would come to my mind just looking at this chart. And then typically I'd like to go to the 30. Well, usually I just do it on a 30. But here we go, 30-minute. And let's zoom it in. All right, there we go. That was that previous day's high that we put on. And it was also the high a few days ago. You can see that. You can see the sellers here. This is giving a good picture of it. You can see the sellers were just waiting here to ambush the price. It got there and firm shoot down. Look at that, massive room to the left. Actually, a perfect reversal pattern right here. Uptrend, room to the left. That long tail hammer, the new lows, the entry, and sure enough, you would call it a good move down. So you know the sellers were here and they were firm. And sure enough, they confirmed themselves again yesterday, but this time not as firm as previously. So looking at this picture, you can think that they're losing steam. And now, today, you can see where the buyers have overwhelmed the sellers, at least printed higher for a little bit. So you're thinking, all right, there were sellers, and this could be a breakout that goes. So you're already getting that picture. You can see the daily and the 30-minute are pretty well aligned. Then look at the 1-minute chart. Oh man, these charts are a disaster. Let's zoom it in properly. There we go. Look at that. Oh, that's a bit of a fractal pattern there. Anyways, so today came up there and we said, right, the buyers have printed higher than that blue line, which are those sellers. Sure enough, little drop, but higher lows. Key point, the sellers are taking over. They started the day down here, very firm, pulled back, ABCD pattern, 5-minute ORB, all that stuff. Got to the major resistance zone and did not get firmly pushed right back down. Instead, they're actually making higher lows. These are buyers stepping up very nicely. And this level is your key level. This was resistance. Now you want to make sure that you know that the buyers are stepping up. You want to make sure that what was resistance is truly holding as support, which you're beginning to see now, where it broke out above and now it's bouncing off along with those higher lows. You know, this is an area to be interested in right now, basically. And if you can find a long tail hammer, or you find a massive bullish candle, something like this maybe, right here, you can call that a retest or breakout. You can put the risk on up here. It would probably appear somewhere with the stop below the price action, and then you're going up into what we decided earlier as resistance. And then trail the price until like the price moves in your favor. It's gone up here. By that point, you could probably just move your stop from down here into your break even, which is about 60-10 somewhere here, and let it be. At that point, the key point about really moving it to break even is you're de-risking. You're not thinking about making profits. The very simple process is once you put a trade on, what you've done is you put a risk on. Once you've done that, the first and only thing on your mind should be taking the risk off, not making money. Don't think about making money. Forget about it. Think about taking the risk off. You put your money at risk, you want to take the risk off. So that's de-risking. And the way to do that really is let the price move in your favor. If it moves in your favor, or as it moves in your favor, start moving your stop in tighter and tighter to the point where it's at break even. And now once you've taken the risk off, you're in a very, very powerful position, which is you've got no risk, none of your money's at risk, and you've got a good position in the market. You've got exposure to the move if it's going to go. Isn't that great? At that point, you're fearless. And when you're fearless, that's when now you give yourself a chance to hold on to it, as in let it run for the big target, that 5R, 10R, 20R, whatever your target is. That's the way I like to trade. And looking at this chart, everything's pretty well aligned. So there you go. You have the bigger picture, daily 30 coming into the 1. Everything's aligned. Wait for that retest of this breakout. And you have the confidence down here. You have it from the daily chart, the 30-minute chart, and now the 1-minute chart, these higher lows. Wait for the entry. You've got the setup. The setup's already there. You're waiting for the confirmation for the entry, which is the only reason to use the 1-minute chart. And then again, de-risk and let it go. So there you go. Again, that's precisely the process I like to use. Very simple. Trade management and looking for setups. Even here, you got room to the left. Look at that. So it's not a place where it likes to be. Typically, it'll move out. And another side of it, just looking at, you're thinking double top here. There's no way I would think about the short. No way. Even though previously this level was resistance, it may well go down, but there's no way. Because firstly, it printed new highs, right? The buyers printed above those sellers. Secondly, you have these higher lows. And then on a double top perspective, you have the second top higher than the first top. You can see the buyers are stepping up. It's not the sellers stepping down. It's the opposite of a setup for a short. Complete opposite. So, totally the idea of a short is not even anywhere near my mind, and won't be for a while on this kind of price action. So there you go. That's what I'm looking at. Anyone okay with that? Everyone okay with that? Any concerns? Anyone want to lose money? Make money? There you go. There's your long. Yeah, I've done this 1,000 times. You guys have seen me take these trades 1,000 times. There you go. You got here. I was looking at PLTR, AMDL, VSC. Oh my goodness, all of them breaking out upside. Okay, cool. I think all kinds of stuff. Nice. See, price action to me is all the same. I don't care what ticker I'm looking at. You guys saw me trade the regular stocks, the catalyst stocks, and you guys saw me trade the Mag 7, and then move to the SPY, and then the SPY options, and then now into the futures. I've not changed anything with the way I perceive things, as in I'm just looking at candlestick patterns. I've removed a lot of the other indicators. Now there's basically nothing left. But as far as, what is the price doing? Is it going up, down, or sideways? I'm looking at candlesticks. Always been my primary thing. And they're just fine on all these instruments. So that I suggest is one key skill to learn, is reading price action. And the 80-20 of reading price action to me is candlesticks. They're very simple. And you can zoom out so you don't get overly triggered. And you know what price action is doing. The other way to learn to read price action is learn to read the tape. To me, that's a little too wild. And I don't like to be, on the edge all the time. So candlesticks work for me. That's why I'm looking at them. 80-20 stuff, right? So this whole setup thing would have taken me maybe 10 seconds to look at on a 30-minute one-way, but because I was talking through it took about 5 minutes. You can see it in my trading, and 30 seconds of looking at it would tell me, okay, there's a setup. But it takes 24 hours of waiting for those 30 seconds, right? That's the key. Now that's real trading. That's the waiting part. That's the hard part. Then you'll get your 30 seconds of adrenaline. There you go. And choose to enter right here if you like. This is your new high, put a stop below. You're getting confirmation, momentum's up. Probably going to push down. There it is. But you still let it stop below, and off you go. Good. After this bullish candle that you just saw right now, and then the new high, that's where I would have entered maybe 10 seconds ago. And the reason is I want to see momentum in my favor before I enter it, right? There it is. Now it's going. And the stop would be right there below it. Yeah, it broke out. Look at that printed new highs. There you go. You're on your way. Cool. Somebody take that trade. This is me taking a trade in the sim. Can't take it. I've got the live account open now. No, I haven't got a sim account here. I don't even know how this instrument works. I don't know what the risk management is on this. Anyways, there you go. Cool. So you got saying prefer to avoid noisy tickers. It's earnings catalyst. Yeah, the thing about NYSE and NASDAQ, all that. Yeah, we've all heard everyone talk about them. I haven't found a difference. If I want to trade something with a catalyst and looking for ORBs and stuff I used to do 3 or 4 years ago, I don't care if it's on the NYSE. I'll just put it on and not get too cute about it. Really, everyone gets way too cute about trading, too sophisticated. What a lump of crap. If I wanted to be sophisticated, I'd wear a suit and go march down Wall Street. I'd rather stay here at home and make more money than I can dream of and still be available for my family. That's the best thing in the world, man. It's a mindset thing. I haven't found any difference with NYSE stuff or anything like that. The big difference I found is moving to a bigger time frame and zooming out and all that fun stuff. All right, here's where we want to be careful. You found new sellers further up, right? The entry was there. Stop was there. You would have moved it in probably just above, let's say about here. I'd probably move it in below this candle. So it'd be at probably half R risk at the moment compared to that full R after the breakout, especially after I'm seeing that big candle down, pushing down. I wouldn't bring it just to break even, but definitely below the most recent buyer, which is this one. That buyer's still in play, I'll be there. So just below 60. So if you risked $100 on this, now your risk is $50. That's de-risking. That's how I like to trail the price. Just watch it for a little bit after you enter. This one looks like a firm seller. So you can see they were sitting there waiting to ambush the price. Huh? These sellers. Let's say it could easily go up again. It could pull back. I don't know. It's all 50-50 after you enter. You have no idea. The only thing you can do is de-risk and then hold it for your target if it goes. Those are the only two things you can do. Don't for 1 second think that you know what it's going to do, because you don't. Nobody does. Nobody that I know does. Okay. It's as simple as that. What else we got? You know what's useful? Dan was saying pull up screenshots and look at them, or charts and look at them. What I have always found even better than that is look at trades. Just screenshots of trades anyone's taken. We want to go through. We can look at that with the entries, the exits, the stop loss, the thinking behind it. We can break it down. And a lot of times those are very insightful. So you're looking back on it and you realize what the hell were you thinking, or your emotions were taken over, or there's so many things that even if it was a successful trade, there's always something that can be better. Just 1% better, one tiny thing, just always that. So that's I think is very real, a very good way of doing things. So if anyone wants to share any screenshots or trades you've taken today or recently or whatever, those are the best ones to go through. So again, these sessions, if you guys want to do that, be sure to share your screenshots and we'll go through it. Yes, Anna, go ahead.
Hey Avi, so I'm in AMD right now, but I took it as a 5-minute RB, but I also have levels on it. And should I share my screen and just show you that?
Yeah, sure, share it. Oh, look at that. The SPY is on its way. Isn't that great? Cool. So, real quick, guys, the SPY hit that 6900 big round number that I was hoping for, and it comes back.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, good. Now, go ahead.
Can you see my screen?
I cannot. I'm going to share yours. What was this level? 86. Oh yeah, right there. That was the resistance on the SPY chart. On top of my zone, you can break out, retest. Sure enough, let it come back. If it comes back, that's the big one. Then you can trust it to run through 6900 later on. Not now. It could still go, but I don't want to play with this. Much 50 points on it later. Nope, no screen, Sunday. You can share a screen or go. Yep, there you go. I'll stop sharing mine so we can see yours for now.
So show my screen anyway?
Yeah, no, I got it. I can see yours.
Okay. Sure. So here I took AMD as a 5-minute RB, but I'm trying to kind of incorporate levels into my trades. So I had a monthly level on AMD at around 218 and actually at around 217. So AMD went all the way to the upside and then came back, kind of retested those two levels, the weekly and monthly levels. But I was trying to figure out where to get in with the levels. With the retest, I'm having an issue on how to identify a retest compared to a breakout. With breakouts, I understand it much better. With retests, though, like I'm trying to figure out how to do the retest.
All right, yeah. So the retest is a good way to go. If you look at the price action right now, you see that red line you've got that was previously high of day. You got right there. So what you got here is it broke out of that, right? Like 10 minutes ago. And now looks like it's coming back to it. All right, good. Now, when it comes back to it, well, firstly, you want to see that it broke out and it made a little bit of a move. You can see it actually went a little distance, right? You don't want it to just break out and sit above. You want it to break out with momentum. If you like volume, you can see there's increased volume for the breakout. And then you want it to make a breakout as a momentum situation. So you wanted the momentum to truly be there. And you can see it was kind of there. It kind of went. Now it's coming back. Perfect. So the next thing you want to see is it to come back and interact with that breakout area. And what you really want to see is in that area, put in a seriously bullish candle. By bullish, I mean the high and the close are in the same place. There's no selling wick. There's no wick on the upside. Ideally, it's a hammer. And ideally, you have a wick on the downside. Once you see that kind of candle in that retest area, then you have confidence to put it on. The new high after that will be the entry. That's the entry I like to use. So wait for the next candle to put a new high, or it might be a few candles until it puts in the new high after that. And that's your entry. And your stop is just below that previous bullish candle that I was just talking about. So we had a similar situation just here. I think it was, yeah, look at this one. I'll show you my chart again. It's very similar. And the whole retest thing has happened. Let me show it to you. There you go. We got my chart up again. And if you look at this price action we were looking at earlier, you got this breakout right here, right?
Mhm.
At whatever, 10:02. That came back. And you're looking, like I said, for a bullish candle where the high and the close are in the same place, which the first time that happened was here. This candle, 10:10. Look at this candle. It's even got a wick on the downside. See that? Got a bullish wick. It's almost a little hammer. Then the new high is the entry. And the stop, they're really tight about it. You can put right below that bullish candle and be a bit more conservative if you're capturing a bigger move, you're looking to survive it, and put it below the breakout zone. You can just use the price action. You can see right there. So you put on a smaller size in that case. So this is a decent example of a retest. And here's the difference, I'll tell you. Over here, like I was saying, when you're saying a breakout, you want to see a breakout as a momentum situation where there's momentum going up. It's going away from all that resistance and is going aggressively. It should go fast, a momentum breakout. That's what you got here. You didn't get that here. It was very difficult to trust this as a genuine breakout because it got there, put it in a wick, and then it put in an inside candle, didn't even make a new high, and then the next candle put in a wick on the upside. There's no momentum going up here from the level. So you don't trust this. And sure enough, it was a false breakout. It was no retest even. It was just a mess. Firstly, it has to break out, make some move, then come back, and then print that bullish candle, which all that happened here, not here. So here's no way you would touch it. And another thing that I personally really enjoy seeing when it comes to breakouts is a consolidation before the breakout. That tells me a lot before the breakout. You can see here also there was no consolidation before it got to the level. So I'm not even interested in the breakout. Over here, I begin to get interested when I see this consolidation. And this is a type of consolidation that makes sense as well. Higher lows, buyers taking over. Sure enough, then the momentum breakout, then the retest, then the bullish candle, then the new high. That's your entry with the stop below, and you trail it, and you'll be on your way. So
Awesome.
that's
Thank you.
That's how I see it. Yeah, sure.
Hey, Avi, it's Evo. So check out PTIR, which is a granite 2x long of PLTR. Again, it's PTIR. And we had a breakout. We had sort of a consolidation above VWAP, and now it's pulling back a bit. So I'm wondering if that to you looks like a better setup for an ABCD pattern or a retest of that breakout area.
Sorry, is it Evo or Ivo? I've been saying Ivo for like 3 years.
It's Evo, IVO, but it's pronounced Evo. Yeah. No worries.
Sorry about that. Could you share your screen? Because I don't have this ticker on my platform.
Okay, hang on a second here.
Sure. There you go. This whole gold trade. This is gold. This is oil. Oil's working out. We got the whole picture again, guys, from the daily 30 and now the 1. So where did we, after that big long wick, we moved to stop in below that bullish candle. Now we're seeing these higher lows getting bullish, printing a new high already. I'd bring my stop right now. It'd already be at break even, definitely, especially after printing this new high. That's it. The whole trade is risk-free now. And then you're just in it. Now you're fearless. Now you're not going to lose. You can only win or walk home with no loss. That's how I would manage this. This was a very good setup. I got to start trading oil, man. What the hell? As far as targets are concerned on this, we looked at, what did we look at? I think here, right? That'll be fine. Let's go back a bit. think it was daily chart. Right? It's the daily chart where we found targets. Yeah. So the target I would have had on this, just the next area of resistance, we got this right here, 60.50, 60.84, 61. So from 60.5 to 61, that's the target zone. Put partials in those areas. Oh man, I'm really gonna get better with this platform. There you go. 60.5 is up there. That's your target, initial target. And I put partials between here and 61. Probably 60.5, 60.75, and 61. That's it. And you're home free. Easy as you like, huh? All right, what do we got? Evo, whenever you got your screen ready, let me know.
Yeah, I was trying to screen share. I haven't done this before. Let me see here. Allow to share window.
Yeah.
Okay, I think this is the one.
Yeah, there we go. I'll stop sharing so we can get yours on. There we go.
So you can see where it broke out around this 29.16. And to me, it looked like, we had some solid big green candles, increasing volume down here. We had a little bit of a pullback, and we had some consolidation over VWAP. So that leads me to believe, it's a potentially bullish move here. But I'd like it to come down to the 9 or the 20 VWAP area for potential entry, or like you said, like some sort of hammer southern wick that shows me the buyers are stepping in. Just wanted to get your 2 cents on that setup.
Yeah, the setup makes sense exactly as you said it. Personally, I just don't use VWAP or these moving averages. But again, key point, you got that high or that dashed line you've got there. That's the high of a 1 minute candle. Is that the 1 minute?
5 minutes.
Is it 5? Okay, it's a 5 minute high. Yeah. So you got a 5 minute ORB. Yeah. So what you would get is ideally it comes back down to that dashed green line and bounces off it, and that would constitute the retest. Now at that point, I don't know where VWAP's going to be. Probably is going to be chopping around VWAP, while it's actually just bouncing off the level, and you have an opportunity to get in. So again, for those reasons, I don't use VWAP. I tend to get really chopped up around it. So if you believe in VWAP, then what you want to see is that it truly firmly claims it. So it comes back down to it and then bounces off of it and closes a serious bullish candle, which, like we said before, is a candle where the high and the close are in the same place with no wick on the upside. Ideally, it has a buying wick and no selling wick. And then the new high after that would be a good entry for continued move up, break high day, and continue on. So that's pretty much how I see it. Not too different from what you already got going on. I think it's pretty solid.
Cool. Thank you.
Yep. Cool. There you go, guys. Feel free to share your screens, guys, during these sessions. No big deal. We can always look at stuff. Actually makes it a lot more interactive. And maybe then I will have to become a moderator, as Mahi was suggesting earlier. No? Babysit you guys. I don't want to be no moderator. You guys want else, right? Yeah, Nasser, go ahead.
Okay, now I can speak. Right, so can you take a look at Meta? It's already actually broken a 670 that we highlighted in the pre-market prep meeting, but it went up actually quite continuously. And now it is.
If you show, sorry, go ahead.
Right.
Yeah. If you show me, I'll look. Put it that way.
Okay, let's just right. So how can I share? I'm getting an old man. Where's the share? What? Oh, there it is. Okay, share screen. Find the relevant one. Okay, yeah, there it is. Okay, share. Do you see this?
Yep, we can see your screen.
Right,
now.
so Meta, we basically identified it as 670 to be, if it breaks it through the 670, it potentially tests 680 or 685-ish. But you know, it went up quite massively in a single direction without any, without any pullbacks. So is it now, do you think, a good place? Would you call this as a pullback that we can basically upon which we can start a long position, or it is actually too soon still?
See, I suggest it comes back to the breakout area, and the breakout area is just that previous high. You know that what was it? What are these 1 minute candles? Yeah, they're right there. Yep, you got it. That's your breakout. Personally, I avoid doing these retests that happen just a little above. I know it's an area, it's not a precise level, but I prefer if it really comes and interacts with the level, even goes into it a little bit and finds new buyers lower and then goes. Right now, all it's done is a seriously good strong move up and came down fast. Look how quick these candles were. These ones coming down. I'd be very suspect. You know, you're going right back up into those sellers who just sold it a minute ago. Wait for it. Wait for it to come back down. It can easily chop around right now for a while. In which case, you don't want to be in it. It's way too early for me.
So it can be basically a consolidation zone here. It might be a consolidation zone here before it goes up.
Yeah, I mean, just look at it. Entering right now, right here, you got no room to the left, literally. There's nothing in it. Let it come to the level. Ideally, again, it puts in a long tail hammer. That's the ideal setup. Otherwise, it puts in a seriously bullish candle before you.
With the long tail hammer, would you look at 1 minute chart or 5 minute chart?
Shit, I look at a 30-minute chart, man. I don't know what you're looking at. But you know, depends on. See, it depends on your setup. I use a 30. It looks like you're using the 1. Personally, the 1 is just the last bit of. I only use it as a confirmation chart. The setup happens on the bigger picture, on a 30-minute, on the daily, not even the 5. I've never gone anything smaller than the 30-minute for a setup. I think 30 is okay. I might even go to the 60. I was playing with that recently. But the setup has to be on a much bigger perspective, and then the 1 is really only useful for an entry. And even then, you know, you get a lot of false setups and fake outs and all that. So you may consider just trading it on a bigger picture. Like I was saying here on my ES trades these days, I'd rather see if I could just take the entry on the 30-minute itself. Much bigger perspective. So, you know, again, you got to choose what you're going to use and then stick to it. That's the key. You got to know the ups and downs of every chart, though. The 1 has, you know, a lot of fake outs, and even if you do find setups there, you're not going to capture the majority of the move of the day. You'll capture a 1 minute chart move, you know, a 1 minute trend, which is 5 minutes, you know. But on a 30-minute chart, you catch a trend, that's like 3 hours. And it takes that long to get 10 on. So those are the things that I consider when you're developing your style.
Can I ask one more question here? About the 30-minute ORB. I suppose we are not calling this a good 30-minute ORB pattern. Am I right? Because we've seen such a big, you know, kind of doji candle right up front, and then continues with this one with a long hammer, a long wick on top of it. So it's not actually an ideal ORB, 30-minute ORB. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct. But realistically, again, you're just looking, I think, at just one 30-minute candle. Look at this whole thing. This whole thing is a disaster. It came from down to up somewhere, and it's been super choppy. And then it happened to put in a massive wick, it looks like, just at the open. And then it did a bullish candle, but again with a wick at the top side. And now you're considering a retest of a breakout on a 5-minute orb. Oh, no, this thing is just a choppy, disastrous mess. There's no pattern. Just glancing at it, and in 5 seconds, if you can't see anything that jumps out of the screen at you, there's nothing there. Now you're just creating stuff. And I'm telling you, don't trade meta, man. It's a disaster. You saw me trade it for so long. I mean, if you're on the right side of it, you get some fun with it. But shit, man. She broke my heart. That's the one for you.
Meta is more difficult thing to trade. It's really choppy. Whenever it goes down like hell. Whenever it goes up, it goes up like hell.
Well, the reason why I'm curious on the meta is that, you know, it dropped on earning, and then it continued all the way down, and then it's just, and meta historically has proven every time that it goes down on earning, it just fills the gap. And that actually happens quite quickly. But we've seen this last year when it dropped actually twice, 25% each earning, and very quickly filled the whole gap. And that's why actually I was looking at it, to be honest.
Yeah, no, you don't want to play with this thing. Just forget about it. There's easier ways to make money. And actually, there aren't too many easier ways to lose money than Meta. So it's up to you which side you want to be on.
Thank you very much.
Sure, no worries. There you go, guys. If you were in that oil trade we were talking about earlier, it was smashed into your target a minute ago. Absolutely smashed it. And that would have been 5R just on the first partial. Not too bad, huh? I'll show you this. And this was actually a good setup. I should look into actually trading this stuff. There you go. So I was telling you guys earlier, it would have been at break even, what, 15 minutes ago? Down here somewhere? After it broke out from here, and then sure enough, 60.5. Firm target, right? Like I was telling you, and we found that on the daily chart. Next target is 60.75 and then 61. But this is already huge. You take off 50% up there, and you've already made money, plenty. And if the rest goes, it goes. Anyways, you're at risk-free. That's really good. It's good to see a perfect setup work out very nicely. You got to understand, even though this was a perfect setup, it has worked perfectly. Perfect setups often fail. You could have seen this perfect setup, take your entry, and then slam right down. Nothing wrong with it. Doesn't mean your setup was bad or that you perceived it the wrong way or you did the wrong thing with risk management. Nothing. The risk management was right if your stop was in place and it took you out with the stop. Fine, you're out of the market. You're a success because you saved your account from going down along with this price action. Good. So please remember that. That's very, very important. The process, fall in love with the process, not the rewards. And then you'll see magic happen, truly. And the process is put on risk and then take off risk and then let it go. Let it go for the target. That's the process. Nice and easy. All right. Anyone else got anything else you want to discuss before it becomes Friday? Yes, Dan, go ahead. What's up?
Hey, good morning again. Maybe somewhat off topic, but we talk a lot about room to the left. And I understand the market doesn't like to be there. But are you implying a continuation or a reversal when there's no room to the left? And in terms of the moderator topic there, we just like the sound of your voice.
Sure you like the sound of my voice? You don't want some very seductive female voice out here? As was suggested earlier. We can do AI stuff. I can sound like that. But yeah, for the room to the left thing, very simply, you're right. If the market doesn't want to be there, which could mean it goes in either direction, up or down. It's not that it has to reverse from there. That tends to be a common perception, but I don't think that's the case. I've seen it go in either direction. So again, I wouldn't enter it unless there's room to the left, and then the entry direction is based on price action, on what the setup is telling me. Is it a reversal setup? Is it a continuation setup? A breakout retest setup? Whatever. So keep an open mind on that. Room to the left means it can go in either direction. So in this case, for example, if you were perceiving a double top at the close of this bearish candle right here, then this would not be a very bad double top. Be okay. It got there aggressively, room to the left at the key level where there's resistance. You got you got it pushed down at first, a little bit of a nice arch, and then that's your bearish candle. You enter a short here, stop above it, and you're going short. But in this case, with the room to the left, it actually wanted to go up, not down. Actually had the indications of the up because it made a higher high, higher than the previous sellers. So that's why I was always thinking bullish. But it could have gone in either direction. When there's room to the left, the point is that's the place where it's likely to go away from rather than get stuck there. Of course, all three things are possible, but there's a better likelihood of getting a move when there's room to the left in either direction rather than getting stuck. So that's the thinking behind it.
Thanks, Avi.
Sure, you got it. All right. Anyone else? Anything else? Evo, you're out of here? Nice. Ah, yes, getting into work. My gosh. It's 7:40 p.m. for me. You guys are going to work now. I love it. It's amazing time zones and all that. Anyways, good. I think we'll put a poll out about the AI voice instead of my voice. How about that? We can create that. So you guys have something prettier to listen to than me. All right, cool. So let's end this one here. It's been a long one. I haven't done these long sessions in a while. But good stuff. Happy Friday, everyone. We can begin happy hour now, getting into our Discord room. I'll take a little break, maybe 10, 15 minutes, and I'll come back into the Discord room. And we can have further discussions there. I might even take a trade. I've still got my eyes on this ES chart. Pulls back, retest, all the fun stuff. And we'll see. Take it easy, guys. Happy Friday. Talk to you all soon.